Hey, everybody. All right, so today we're talking about the B minor, okay? And there's a reason. So early on in my journey, late in life, started to play guitar. I got by mostly on three or four open chords, okay? And I was frantically would search to find songs that had those chords in it. And that's how I started, okay? Um, then all of a sudden, this kept coming up, this B minor. So I would just turn the page and move on, right? Well, then it got to the point where I said, look, I might as well learn this thing. It's another chord in my bag, right? And it allows me to expand my song repertoire because more often than not, I was Googling my favorite songs and B minor was in it. So let's do it, all right? But again, late in life, I didn't want to go a year learning all these excruciating bar chords and I'm never going to use them. So I kind of thought, well, why don't I just learn the B minor and work it into my open chords? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And that we can take this simple bar chord and work it or weave it into our already open chord repertoire. And then all of a sudden, the doors open for us and we can play all kinds of new songs. Okay. Now, there is another bar chord we're going to look at in the next video, and it's the F sharp minor. But today is B minor. And those are the two bar chords that more often than not will poke up in their ugly heads in your Google song learning journey. Okay. And it's a relatively easy bar chord to play. It's basically an A minor moved up two with a bar on it. Okay, so we would play the A minor with our back three fingers, move it up, and slap a bar. Okay, now we can play a B minor like this. So the same shape, but I'm using my natural, the same as I'd play an A minor, moving up two. And as long as I only strum the strings that I'm fretting, that's a B minor triad, and it's perfectly legal to play, okay, in place of a B minor. But to be honest, I hate telling people not to learn bar chords because you really are going to benefit in the future. All I'm saying at this point is when you're 40, 50, 60 years old or more and you're starting to play guitar, let's just keep it simple. And why would you learn all the shapes of bar chords up and down and trying to make them sound good, which could take a long time when you only need one? Okay, so let's learn that one. And then I'm going to show you the chords that more often than not pop up before and after the B minor. Those are the open chords that we can use our precious practice time to kind of figure out. Okay, so the B minor comes up only in three keys. Okay, G, A, and D. That's it, right? Now, the G, okay, it's the second chord. It's the third chord, sorry. So G would be the first, A would be the second, which would be A minor because it's not a 1-4-5, and then B would be the third, and it's a minor because it's not a 1-4-5 chord. So that's where it pops up. It also pops up in the key of D, okay, where it's the sixth chord, and it's also what they call a relative minor. Now, I'm not going to get into it too much, but every major chord has a relative minor. Think of it like a cousin, okay? Now, that relative minor, they go good together. They play well together, and also you can use the same scale that you use on the major chord on the minor chord. So in this case, if you played a D minor pentatonic over a D chord progression, it'll sound good over a B minor, okay? Or if you're playing the B minor in a progression, you can use the D scale and it sounds just fine, whether, it's just, they all go together. That's what a relative minor is, okay? So, and in the A chord, it's the second chord, right? And again, it's a minor because it's the second chord, not the 1, 4, or the 5. So that's it, okay? Now, the thing is, there are some chords that come up a lot before and after a B minor. And I'm going to go through the most popular first, okay? So the most popular ones are A minor, okay? So we would practice this. Then once you're comfortable, then you would put some kind of a rhythm and strum onto it, okay? Then we have a G, so we're going to go B minor to G, B minor to G. Now you notice I play my G this way. I find it a lot easier, okay? My finger is right here for the bar, okay? Now if you play your G that way, that's cool too. I get a little confused sometimes because I don't really play my G that way anymore, right? I play with the back fingers. So those two are the most popular, and the third one is D, okay? Okay, so we have A minor to B minor, we have G to B minor, and we have D to B minor. Okay, so the next one would be A. Okay, now after that, it really is E minor. Okay, so B minor to E minor. And then the other two would be bar chords. We have to think of that for you bar chord players, right? So B minor often is played with an F sharp minor, and the beauty is that they're so close together, right? So there's your B, you lift off your middle finger, and you move these two up one string each, and you get your F sharp minor. Some people stack this over that, maybe put a little extra pressure. I'm really not sure, but I guess it's just hanging out there, that finger. You might as well put it somewhere. And we're going to talk about the F sharp minor in the next video, okay? And the chords that it's most associated with in the open position. So this one is all B minor, but we have to mention it because it does come up in the bar chord progression. B minor, F sharp minor, okay? And we have C sharp minor, that also for you bar chord players. That comes up quite a bit, right? So really the open chords, D, A minor, G, and A are the most popular, followed by E minor. Okay, now the C, I mean, there's no B minor in the key of C. It's a B diminished. So it does happen. It's good to know it. But it's less likely to come up before and after. Okay? Never, but just less likely. Right? So that's the beauty of that. Now, by practicing, like remember, we only have a certain amount of minutes or hours or whatever a day. Okay? So by practicing those transitions, as soon as we can do that, we can add our B minor right into our repertoire of chords. Now, all of a sudden, the whole world opens up. It's like you've opened up a door, okay? Now we can play all these songs that we couldn't play before, right? So remember, it's not about playing bar chords. It's about playing a bar chord and moving it into our open chord rotation and getting it comfortable, transitioning to and from. Because just like your open chords, if you know an A and a C and a D, but you can't move between the three, then you're not going to play any songs until you do. Well, it's the same thing with this. So you could know the B minor all day, but unless you're playing a one-chord song, you're going to have to be able to transition to it, right? And that's what this exercise and practice routine is all about. So what I would do is start with a song that you want to learn right off the bat. Say, okay, so there's a song I want to learn. D, A, B minor, G. Let's use that as my practice routine. That's probably the best way. And if you don't have a song right now that you want to learn, that's okay too. Just take any of those chords and maybe take 3 of them and start by going B minor, A minor, B minor, G, B minor, D. And do this rotationally over and over and over. Okay? And once you've done that and you've got that integrated, now that just changes everything for you. Okay? So there's always later on room, just like with triads when we looked at that. Once you know one shape, so in this case, once we learn our B minor, well, look, C minor, C sharp minor, D minor, E minor. It goes on and on and on. And that's the beauty of bar chords. But we don't have to worry. Why would we spend hours practicing all this when all we want to do is throw a B minor into a chord progression of open chords? And that's what this is all about. All right? So if you haven't already done so, add this to your practice routine and see your repertoire of songs grow overnight. Okay, so we'll be back next time with a look at the F sharp minor. Okay, it's almost as important bar chord. It comes up over and over and over again. So we'll take a look at that and the chords that it is most associated with as well. Okay, so I hope this helps. Thank you for your ongoing support. And if you think I can help with your guitar journey and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so, because as I always say, it kind of tells YouTube that I might be a somebody when, well, we really all know that I'm a nobody. So, okay. All right. Have a good one. And remember that it's all about the practice. See you soon.